I never left it on the ground. I'm not coming down. I wanna go higher, higher, higher than that.
This is Write Your Own Story, 3 Keys to Rise and Thrive in Life and Business. I'm your host, Rebecca Fleetwood-Hession. Let's talk about the age of humanity again this week. Shall we, friends? So if you listened to last week's episode, it was an emotional call to ladies who have the skill set of empathy and connection, because those are the skills that we use every day in managing the chaos of being a mom, that we need those skills to lead in the age of humanity. And I stand by it 100%. But I also want you to hear this TikTok that my friend Christy just sent me, because this isn't wrong either. The thing about the age of humanity is there is no rush for everybody to do the same thing. Everybody needs to go to college. Everybody needs to get into tech. That is just a fear-based, chase the money motive that doesn't at all honor your unique gifts, talents, and abilities. Okay? So not everybody was meant to be in this corporate America kind of scene. So let's see if you can hear this. Hold, please.
They are lying to you, okay? Labor jobs are fucking awesome. They're not that hard. You just get told what to do and you go do it. It's honestly probably one of the best jobs you can get, because, like, for me personally, when I'm looking for jobs, I'm not using my brain for this company. I'm sorry. My brain is reserved for creative energy in my own project. I want you to tell me to go shovel some shit while I'm wearing the exact same uniform every single day, and I'll go do it. And it's the best. And I've worked in wastewater too. Again, one of the easiest jobs I think I've ever had in my entire fucking life. Like, these men, for the longest time, they're like, I worked so hard. I picked things up and I put them down. Dude, that's awesome. Do you know how much better the relationship that I have with my body is now? I stretch. I care about my footwear. I eat better because I'm like, I've got to take care of my body so it will work. So, like, my body, my physicality is tied to the work that I do in the real world. Like, that's my paycheck. I'm getting paid to get fit. My brain, that's for me. That's for my book. That's for my creative outlets. That's for my twine projects. You know, it's a labor job. They're fucking easy. They are lying to you.
Okay, you don't have to be in a corporate job. And if your kids are looking around at some of the insanity in corporate business stuff and being like, nope, we need manual labor. We need trades workers. I love that she is coming at it from the perspective of, that's the job that makes me money. And she's looking at it holistically, which is the age of humanity. You know, the word prosper isn't just about finances. It's about living well. It's body, mind, heart, spirit. The etymology of the word is living well. She's living well. She's got a physical job that moves her body, gives her a paycheck, and then she can go home and do creative art projects and write a book. Oh, that is a wonderfully viable option in the world today. This thing on TikTok going around called Lazy Girl Jobs. Don't like the title. It's not helpful for our brand. Let's not do that. I'm just illustrating a point here. And one of them, the girl is like in her car near tears, and she says, I don't want to girl boss. I accidentally got promoted and now I'm exhausted and I don't want to do this. She said, I want to get married. I want to go to Marshall's and buy holiday pillows and make dinner for my husband. Y'all, if your daughter grows up wanting to be a wife and a mother, let her. This whole idea that there's a certain path that we have to take, that's not the way God created us. We're unique down to our fingerprints. He gave each of us gifts, talents, and abilities to be used for a purpose. And if you're a Jesus-loving girl, like I am, and you sit and ask the Lord for guidance, he'll show you what your purpose is. Mine is connection. which is why I use all kinds of examples about puzzles and people's uniqueness and how are we going to come together? Like, we don't have to follow the same path that has been sold to us. Y'all, it was a scam. It was a scam to sell college degrees. We have the biggest trade worker shortage in our country that we've ever had. Dear Lord, I hope you don't need a plumber before Christmas because you're probably not going to get one. So another one of my friends, her son is graduating high school and he wants to be a welder. And so they went to Ohio, I think it was, and toured this school. And he's so excited about it. And they have this amazing program. They treat them well. It has a 97% placement rate. And listen, that kid going to be making 6 figures, which I know in today's economy barely is getting us by. I get that. But he's going to be making a decent wage at like 19 or 20 with very little, if any, education debt, college debt. Are we waking up to this whole thing now to say there are lots of ways, unique ways to live our lives that are still thriving? My call to action for you, I know I did this big emotional, like, help me lead the age of humanity. And I do. Those of you who are called to lead, who have the feeling that leadership is one of your gifts. So last week, I gave an example of one of my clients is dealing with some things with her team. And in our coaching session today, she has leadership gifts. And she's in this place of being a new mom and feeling really torn about, I don't want to just be at work anymore. I want to raise these babies. And I said to her today, babe, you are the role model for the future. You are the one that are going to show these young professionals and these young ladies looking up to you how to do this in a way that says, I don't have to be the CEO or the VP or whatever while my kids are little. I want to go in. I want to treat people well. I want to understand the business. I want to lead a team. Then I want to go home and snuggle those babies and be the best mom I've ever been. And I told her, you're going to get this like lull in the dependence of parenting from about age 9, 10, 11 to their teenage years, 20s. They're not going to need you as much. And then you want to go do more stuff. By this time, they're going to smell bad and they sassy. So you can't wait to get to work at certain stages of their lives. And then I have another client who was just a few years younger than me. And she wants time freedom back now because her adult kids are thinking about having their own babies. And she wants to be able to take off for as many weeks in a row as she wants to go be a grandma and help her mom raise these babies. Y'all, that's just as important in the age of humanity. I'm tearing up. Ugh. That is just as important in the age of humanity as the other stuff. And so I don't want you to get the wrong message from my last episode that I'm like, everybody's got to go do the corporate thing and let's all rally. No, I'm saying everybody go rally together to do your thing, whatever God created you to be. If you want to go work at the wastewater plant to get a decent paycheck and good benefits so you can go home and write books and make crafts, honey, I'm your cheerleader. Like, invite me over. We'll do crafts together. It takes all of our uniqueness. So as you're navigating this reflective holiday season, I want you to put down what everybody said your whole life that you should, could, oughta, might want to be. They're not you. They may love you. They may have thought that they were giving you the best advice possible. They wanted you to have better than they did. That might be the biggest curse that parents have put on us in our lifetime. I just want them to be better than me. So they pushed us to do things. Well, mine didn't. They didn't push me all, but many did. Many of my clients had this phenomenon. There was something that they wanted to do, and well-meaning, loving adults said, oh, honey, you need to go do something you can make money. Support yourself. Never rely on a man, or go to college and find a man, or just make sure that you can support yourself. There are lots of ways to make money. Listen, I'm not saying go get an OnlyFans account. That's not where I come from. Me and Jesus too tight for that. But I pay a guy to pick up dog crap out of my backyard. That's a noble thing. You got a decent business. There are lots of ways to make money. So if you want to spend some time this holiday season reflecting on how maybe you and your significant other want to change things in your life to live more authentically as who you were meant to be, amen. And so this session on January 8th, where we're going to talk about the age of humanity, that's for you too. Because we're going to do some things on January 8th where I'm going to lead you through some guided reflection questions. I want you to show up with your journal and your open heart and your sense of humor. And it's in the evening. It's from 6 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. So you may have to cut out a little early if you're on the West Coast, but let's dream a little. I'm going to ask you how you want next year to feel. I'm going to guide you through some exercises about how you want it to feel. And you can either be I want to be the CEO next year. I'm in. Let's do it. I'll help you. Or I want to work for the sewage treatment plant and get paid enough to pay the bills and then go write that book. And maybe you're the one that says, I want to stay home with my babies. I want to figure out how to do that. Okay. Whatever it is that you feel called to do, I want to help you do that because I know what it feels like to be in a situation where everybody around you thinks, oh, she's successful. She's got a good job. Why would she ever want to change? Well, because my heart wanted me to change. Did I take a hit financially for a little bit to make it happen? Damn right I did. Gladly. But I was intentional about it. I made a plan and I made it happen. And I sat here today for hours writing content for you. And my heart was so happy. Shitty benefits because I refuse to pay for them because I don't want to live my life in fear. I have all kinds of weird. Someday, call me up and ask me to have coffee or a beer with you and talk about how I feel about insurance and all of that. I stepped off of the traditional good pay and benefits train. And I said, you know what? I know that my skills are marketable. I know that I am valuable. I know that I can be relevant to the marketplace and make an impact in a way that people will pay me for this value and for these skills. But I'm also going to tell you that entrepreneurial life is not for everyone. It's just not. And that's okay. Don't let it get over glamorized and too sexy. My kids are grown. I had far more time and freedom to build this business than you do that if you're raising younger kids. I sold my big house and downsized to do this, to give myself some freedom and some leeway. It's not for everyone. I had a huge sales background, which if you shudder at the idea of selling what you do, it's not for you. But there's something that is for you. There's a call on your heart. I don't care what it is. Just show up on January 8th with a journal. Just meet other amazing women that want to live their authentic lives and see what happens. There's no commitment. You don't pay me a dime. I'm going to give you a Zoom link. You're going to log on to Zoom. That's it. Invite some of your friends if you feel weird about not knowing anybody on your little Brady Bunch squares. But I hope if you're listening to this podcast, you know that I will always create a safe environment for you. It's one of my absolute non-negotiables. I don't care what it is that you want. I just want you to allow yourself to want it. I don't care if it's a big dream that isn't Instagram worthy because you want to work at the wastewater treatment plant and get a paycheck and go home and make crafts. God, I love that about you. One of my clients kind of jokingly said to me one day that she wants to homestead. And I don't think it's a joke. And I think she could do it. And I'm going to be the first one standing there saying, okay, let's build a plan. I'll help you. I'll help you do whatever it is that your heart desires. Okay? We good? We good on this? So since we had a little TikTok moment, I'm going to share with you another one that showed up in my feed to just remind you from one of my favorite people in the world is Dolly Parton. And I love this because I did an episode not too long ago, I don't know, last summer maybe. Dolly Parton has the most beloved, like an award or there's a thing, the most beloved person in the world because she's so relatable to everyone.
You say things in a way that
is so who you are and what you believe, and yet you say it in a way that includes everybody.
Drew Barrymore is interviewing Dolly Parton.
Well, I love everybody. I always know that there's that little godlike, that little thing in every human being, and I try to go to that because I know that nobody would be the way they are if they could be different. You know, it's like I wrote a song called "Whatever You Are, Be That. Whatever you do, do that." Because anything else is just an act. So whoever you are, be that. And I'm not a good enough person or a good enough Christian to judge and criticize other people. I want to be loved and accepted. So the least I can do is try to love and accept other people. And I love the difference in people. Just like that spice, the variety of life being spice, you know. I mean, if everybody was the same, well, you know, it would be a boring life, wouldn't it?
Who doesn't love Dolly Parton? Don't message me if you don't. Variety is the spice of life, yo. So I'll see you on January 8th. Okay? Love you, Bennett.
I'm not coming down. I never left it on the ground. I'm not coming down.
Thanks for listening to this episode. I would love it if you would go to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and a review. And then you can go to RebeccaFleetwoodHessian.com and join the Badass Women's Council. And if you really want to take a deeper dive, join the movement of 1,000 thriving women. There's amazing Thrive tools there for you today. Love you, mean it.
And I'm not coming down.
Hey y'all, fun fact, if you like the music for the podcast, that is actually my son, Cameron Hessian. And I would love it if you would go to Spotify and iTunes and follow him and download some of his other music. My personal favorite is TV Land.